Well, welcome. Well, yeah. Hey, dogs, you're not part of this. Oh my goodness, stop. What is going on out there? I guess I made them look. Man, why doesn't my thing come up? That's so weird. All right. Hey, welcome. Welcome to Monday night. What a crazy day it's been. All right, now I got to go look at what's going on. I'll be right back. After the sheep. All right. I think it's the neighbor coming down to take care of the sheep. But of course, the dogs have to go a little crazy. Let's see, am I right? No truck down there yet. Maybe they're just silly and barking at nothing. Yeah, well. All right. Well, like I said, what a day it's been. So, the thing that has basically been part of our lives now for 11 weeks. I mean, that's more than 2 months. And I've been following this case for a long time, not as in depthly as once the trial started. But it's still been something that you follow and we get news about occasionally, and then now that it's been every single day, and you realize how people can actually go in that jury room and decide that the state met their burden of beyond a reasonable doubt. It just, it completely blows the mind. It doesn't make sense. And then you get, obviously we got the hung jury, the mistrial today. And then what's, where do I start? Since the beginning of this channel and the things that we're trying to do, it all revolves around this stupid word called misinformation. But then you get actual misinformation that gets pawned off as real. So who do you trust these days? That's the issue. That's the main issue that is out there in the world currently at this time. Is there's no one that you can truly trust. I mean, it's just not. Turn myself on there. You have to verify everything, and verifying everything is nearly impossible. Like, let's take this 10-1 thing today. That supposedly it was, or 10-2. Supposedly it was 10-2. Let me bring this up here. And drag that up. And you know what? I'm just going to put that on the screen. Put online as the truth. Multiple people have put that out there as a verified thing that the jury was going to convict, was 10-2 to convict because of some weirdo. Now, there is seriously something wrong in Massachusetts, okay? People in Massachusetts, good people in Massachusetts, I don't know what is happening. I don't know what is in your water, or maybe it's your food supply, the air you're breathing. Heck, it could be chemtrails coming down. Your brains don't function correctly. A lot of you have brain issues. You just do. The fact that we're sitting here with a jury that can't realize that we've had, that there was in no way the case that was presented by the state of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts was anywhere near reason, beyond reasonable doubt. And you guys didn't you didn't. It's just amazing. It's amazing. I don't get it. Ooh, we don't want to see that. Oh, good thing I hid that on there. So yeah, I would collectively, as a Commonwealth, as a state, maybe get together, and you could probably get some folks, I don't know if the ARCA folks do, cognitive testing on a state level, or I don't know, maybe there's somebody out there that could look at you guys' water supply. Maybe it's just the area around, where, Canton and Stoughton and these places are Norfolk County. Maybe it's Norfolk County. Maybe the brain rot is in Norfolk County, because y'all are messed up. Y'all have issues that you need to fix. Your police departments are completely corrupt. Your DA system is completely corrupt. And I'm not saying that it's not like that in a lot of places, because it is. Because look what's going on in Georgia. Atlanta ain't any better. But still, that is embarrassing. What we've witnessed this last 11 weeks, and even before that, with all the pretrial motions and stuff. If Emily and folks like that are going to go back and look at the pretrial stuff, they're gonna be beside themselves, going, "What? What do you mean you don't have all of the evidence turned over to the defense? What do you mean you don't have all the testing turned over to the defense? What do you mean that your DA analysis isn't done yet 2.5 years later?" I mean, some of the stuff they even pulled before this trial started was ridiculous. And then you get all the way through a trial and you get a hung jury. Oh my good grief. And then you get these people putting this crap out there that, oh, yeah, let's yeah, it was 10-2, to convict, because some weirdo copied a completely out of context tweet and put that out as fact, and a bunch of people picked up and ran with it. Sure. And don't get me started on the 11 people out there. I think it was like seven people out there today that were, these here. I think I got those goofballs.
Just say
yeah, here we go. Ooh, that's a little loud. Oh no, let's do this. Back to tab. Let's take a look at these weirdos. All right. Here we go. There you go. There's
They're brainwashed. They're hateful, and we support the family.
And they're not looking at the evidence. They're listening to propaganda online that was put out by Turtle Boy. It's a tailgate party. This is so inappropriate.
They're not listening to the evidence. It's all about Turtle Boy. That's their argument. We're not listening to the evidence. The hundreds of people across the street from them aren't looking at the evidence. No. It's these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, maybe 11
You guys don't have any
people.
relationship with Turbo, do you?
12, 13 people.
Are you from the area generally?
Some people drove up from Florida. Yeah, someone drove up from Florida to
That's
support.
okay. That's okay. It's free speech. You know when you hear it. You know when you hear it.
We're not looking at the evidence, the evidence from people who actually did the testing, the evidence from Trooper Paul, who said that his arm got hit by we're not looking at that evidence. Oh no, that's the evidence they want you to believe. 11 people, 12 people versus hundreds of people. And what I've also seen from these hundreds of people that have gathered together on the side of, Karen, to come out and support the defense, to support Karen Reed, it's not an ideological. It breaks down on ideological lines. Like there are people that are pro-Trump, anti-Trump, coming together to support this woman because she's being railroaded by the state, right? And that's a powerful thing. That is a powerful thing to see people coming together from many different ideological places to support one person. Right? That's actually really cool to see. It's really neat to see that. We need more of that. We need to find more of these common causes to get to where we need to be, because right now as a society, I should have saved that thing the other day. And you guys might have seen it. I'll have to look it up. There's a guy, he's probably Cajun or something, but he makes a good point that, every 100 years or so that we're all replaced, right? There's new people every 100 years or so. And we all get the opportunity to spend time on this earth, this small amount of time, considering humans have been here for, thousands and thousands of years. We've been running around. And this is our 100 years or so to be together right now. This little patch of time that we get to hang out. And so we should be we should be closer than we are. But right now we're very divided as far as things. But when people can come together and support, obvious misuses of the state against people, then that's a good thing. And we really need to be honest, because, anybody that thinks that this is anything other than a railroading is just not paying attention. Or they've got, the brain rot that's sinking in, I guess, in Massachusetts. Anyway, all right. So I am going to, what I said, it's probably going to take me a couple weeks because I got to just take a break from this trial. I was really hopeful that they would come to a verdict. I really was. I was hopeful that we would see a verdict, that we would see something come of this that made sense, but we haven't. And so what I want to do, though, is I want to go through the closing argument, Lally's closing argument specifically, and I want to take all of the spots where he lied, which there are lots of them. And we are going to show you in testimony where what he said was not what was actually going on. What he said and what actually transpired in testimony was not alike. There were multiple times that he did that. What that's going to take, though, is I was thinking how to do this because I don't want. Oh, yeah, okay, yep. Thank you, Lori. Thank you. This is it. Yep. Let me bring that up. And I thought I had it too. Yep. Here we go. Massachusetts State Police. Thank you. Get back to Lolly in a minute here. Below is a statement from Colonel Mon of the Massachusetts State Police from the Massachusetts State Police official X. Following the mistrial, excuse me, sound like I'm breaking up here. All right. Following the mistrial in the Commonwealth versus Karen Reed, the Massachusetts State Police would like to offer our condolences again to the family of Boston police officer John O'Keefe. We cannot imagine the way in which the result has heightened the O'Keefe family's immeasurable grief, heartache, and sense of loss. I totally agree. John lived a life of honorable service both to the city of Boston and the children entrusted to his care. After the unexpected death of his sister and brother-in-law, we will remember him. Upon learning today's results, the department took immediate action to relieve Trooper Michael Proctor of duty and formally transfer him out of the Norfolk County District Attorney's Office State Police Detectives Unit. This follows our previous decision to open an internal affairs investigation after information about serious misconduct emerged in the testimony at the trial. This investigation is ongoing. I think you have all the evidence you need. Our focus remains on delivering the highest level of police services with professionalism and integrity. Now, if, it'll be a travesty if they keep Michael Proctor on as a police officer. If he stays on as a state trooper in Massachusetts, that will be a travesty. If they, for some reason, they can't get enough evidence together to actually fire him, he should be on a traffic unit, which I don't even want him writing tickets. Do you guys even want him writing tickets? I don't want him writing tickets or being anywhere near anything that has to do with law enforcement. No, that's just, yeah, that would be a mistake. That would be an absolute mistake to keep him on as anything remotely to do with law enforcement. He should be fired for what he's done. He should be fired. And hopefully that will be the case, but we'll see. I'm not holding out faith, just like I'm not holding out faith that the FBI is going to step in and now they're going to take over and they're going to do some, what they did is already a lot, which I'm grateful for that they had the wherewithal to realize that there was something else going on. I think that you hear a lot of people that say that this FBI investigation or the DOJ investigation is stemmed from just this trial. Absolutely not. I think the investigation has been going on, and I've seen reporting of this. I don't know, and I'm just, this is totally my opinion on things. This is kind of deductive reasoning on my part, so take whatever I say with a grain of salt. But it seems like there was already investigation going on into Norfolk County, and I think it has to do with the Sandra Birchmore. I believe it's Sandra Birchmore, correct? Correct me if I'm wrong. That case is going to receive a whole lot more scrutiny here. And I'm going to go ahead and follow that. Justice for Sandra Birchmore. Yeah, the Sandra Birchmore case is absolutely disgusting. And some of the same players, you know, the guy who did the telephone, you know, the phone extraction for the state police was involved in this. He couldn't find all those text messages between Sandra and the police officers from Stoughton, or however you say that. That case is going to blow up. And that's even worse. I mean, that's just, it's disgusting in so many ways. And so I think that is what kind of started this investigation. And then I think it blossomed from there. I don't know the depth of the relationship between the folks at the DA or the DOJ and Mr. Yanetti's office. I don't know. Maybe there is a deep relationship there. And so maybe that helped, but it's not the only thing. But I'm also not. I hope that the FBI will step in and do something and take a look at this and say, ooh, you know, there is more going on here. And I hope, you know, maybe there'll be some indictments come down for some of the stuff that's happened. And hopefully we'll hear more about Sandra Birchmore, and maybe, you know, that case will get more scrutiny now that, you know, things seem to be opening up. There is a civil suit that's in the works. There was a, you know, a pathologist, Mr. What's his name? Boughton. Oh my goodness. Now I can't remember it. Gotta look it up. He's been around forever. He was in the OJ thing. I mean, that's how long he's been around. I remember him. Baden, right? Michael Baden. You know, if any of y'all ever watched the old Red Eye with Greg Gutfeld it came on at like 2 a.m. on the East Coast or 3 a.m. on the East Coast. But for me, it came on at 11 o'clock because I live in Alaska and I'm 4 hours off of the East Coast. So I got to watch it at 11 o'clock at night. And if you don't remember the old Red Eye, that was a crazy show. And it was had a lot of different people on there with a lot of different opinions, and you know, and that was kind of the start of Gutfeld's, you know, time at Fox News, where now he's, you know, blossomed into the creature that he is today, which, you know, is nothing like what he was, but that's all another story. But those were some fun shows. I mean, yeah, that was a crazy time at 3 o'clock in the morning. But Baden had gone on Red Eye quite a few times, and he was a fun watch. But he's come back. He said that he thinks that it was homicide and not a self-inflicted thing that caused her demise. And so hopefully the wrongful death suit will encourage others to look into that. So, okay, so back to Lolly and the closing arguments is, I think what I'm going to do, because I can't stand to listen to that for even an hour. Like, his voice just kills me. Like, I don't want to subject myself. And if it's the only way I could do it, then I will do it. But my thought is, if I go back to the closing arguments, and we can, you know, let's just take a peek real quick while we're doing this. So, all right, so let's go to Brandy. This Churchwell. And We'll go to her lives. And then we'll go to closing arguments, right? And then what we can do, we can do the old trick we've been doing, which is we can show the transcript. And then I can read the transcript. Oh, in fact, you know what else I can do? Oh, I just thought of this. Thank you. Thank you for doing this. Watch. Okay, so I think what we'll do is I'm going to record his closing arguments. Right? It's an hour long. I should be able to run it on the game bar, and it should be able to record the whole thing. And then I should be able to take that down into Premiere Pro and then do a transcript on that. And then I'll have the transcript right there. And then I can cut out the pieces that I want. Then I can go back and find the other days of where he said it. I mean, just right off the bat, I hit him, right? The 4 times. Nobody said that she said that I hit him. All of it was I hit him. 3 times. All right. Immediately he comes out the gate exaggerating what was said. Immediately.
I hit him. I hit him. I
Right,
hit
let's go
him.
ahead.
I hit him. I hit him. I hit him.
Right there. Immediately comes out the gate exaggerating what was actually said. That's what you get. I do not want to listen to this guy for an hour or multiple hours. I'm already going to have to listen to him a lot just to put the video together. I don't want to go through and listen to the whole thing. So we are going to go and I'm probably just going to read the transcript. As you can see, here is the transcript of everything he said.
On the front lawn of 34 Fairview Road, where the defendant had left him after striking him with her motor vehicle several hours before.
You know, the weather was, why did Lolly have to ask everybody about the weather? Because he wanted to use the line in his closing statements that the weather was a weapon. I mean, could you get any more melodramatic? So anyway. All right, so that is my plan. My plan is to go through this closing argument, pick out the times that he lied, which there are multiple times where he lies, where he puts in stuff that the evidence does not say. I mean, even he says fire Flamati said that he did that. Firefighter Timmy.
You heard testimony from firefighter Timothy Nuttall. He was trying to bag.
He made it sound in his opening statements that everybody ran over to him, or she, the defendant, basically ran to every single firefighter that she could find and said, I hit him. Like, what? That's not there was not the testimony that she just kept going to people saying this. A lot of these people under cross-examination admitted they were in the fire, that they were in the ambulance with the door shut. How could they have heard that? Right? I mean, it's not in anyone's report that she said this. None of the reports from the interviews from any of these people said that she said she hit him until they show up to trial. Then it comes out. I mean, that's just the start of it. That's just the start of this ridiculousness. Yeah, exactly. And no one wrote it down. Nobody wrote that down that she said, I hit him. None of them wrote that down. Exactly. So that was the start of the lies. And then, that nobody testified that he had his arm out and that his arm got struck by the tail light. Really? Nobody said that he had his arm out. Nobody testified to that. Are you sure about that? Because I sure remember Mr. Jackson asking Trooper Paul, how did he get hit with the thing? Can you show us? And he put his arm out. So I'm pretty sure that that's testifying. Problem with that is testifying is on a transcript. So unless it was transcribed that way, which we don't know until we get the transcript, but we don't know if the court reporter actually transcribed it that way. So, okay, I got to step away for 1 second, go grab something. I'll be right back, and then we're going to switch gears completely. We're going to do something different. Come back. Come on. Stayed, huh? Yeah. Tina stayed there underneath the table. And there's Mr. Finney back in his table there. All right. So, yeah, this, obviously, go lay down. Go lay down. Sorry. All right. So this trial fires me up. So we are going to have to do something completely different tonight. And we're going to do that. So one of the other things that I'll look at occasionally is, I don't know if some of you guys go on Reddit or not, but Reddit is a mess. It's absolutely a mess. My belief is that most of Reddit is just made up stuff. It's got to be, because if people are this messed up, then oh my goodness, we got issues. But let's go ahead and log in here. Hang on 1 second while I do some stuff in the background here. Get ourselves logged into this crazy website. So I think that Reddit has got to be, it just can't be, it's not real. It can't be. But I think some of it, now some of Reddit is real. Okay, I'll give you that. Some of Reddit is real. But one of the subreddits that I like to read, for some reason, I don't know how I even got on there, is the Airbnb stuff, right? I mean, Airbnb just blows me away as a concept. Like, where it started and where it's gone and where it came from, just is really interesting. And so I looked it up, and Airbnb, beginning. Where did it start? And we'll look at Wikipedia, because why not? And of course, it started in San Francisco. In 2008, it was founded in San Francisco. So I've been thinking for a while that I want to do a skit. I want to do a skit about the beginning of Airbnb and what that conversation sounded like. Like, how do you come up with concept of Airbnb, and how stoned do you have to be to come up with this concept? So that's my theory. Is the folks that came up with Airbnb, which I don't know Brian Chesky or Joe Gebbia, but I think that is a fun little skit to put together. It's basically a couple of stoners coming up with the idea of starting a hotel company using other people's properties as their hotel. Which makes sense to a stoner. Makes perfect sense to a stoner, I think. So we're going to write a script and then we're going to go shoot it on Wednesday with my other compadres. I'm going to write that script during this live stream. All right. So, like I said, I've been tossing this around kind of as a bit. I don't know. Just kind of came to mind when especially reading some of these things on Reddit. Like, oh my God. Like, I've never booked an Airbnb. I've never stayed at an Airbnb. I have a good friend who runs an official B&B, an actual B&B. And, even since, they started in early 2000s and things have changed. I mean, their entire business model. I mean, they used to have a real B&B with actual breakfast and stuff, and so they've gone from doing an official bed and breakfast with with breakfast, where you had a place where folks would meet up in the morning. And we're in Alaska, we're in a touristy area. People come from everywhere to be here, and they got a lot of Europeans, and they got a lot of foreigners, but they got some folks from here, and then they get folks, they get kids that are coming up for this leadership training, and so that's a part of their business as well, as some of the young adults coming up to go out into the wild of Alaska for like a month or so and do training. So they have an actual bed and breakfast, but since 2020, and we all know about what happened in 2020, there was that whole thing that happened for the entire world. And since then, they they even they had remodeled to take a outdoor area and enclose it in and put in, so they'd have more room for people at breakfast. So they had a bigger table, right? Because they were running out of room. They had to space it out. People had to say when they were going to come and get their breakfast. And so they did this big remodeling project. And then they 2020 happened, and then everything. Oh man, I messed my camera up, didn't I? How did I bump that? Let's see. Sorry, I'm rejiggering the camera. There we go. All right. So 2020 happened. They had to reconfigure their whole thing, and now people just don't get together for breakfast anymore. They do this other, they have not so much breakfasts, but okay, now. Oh my goodness, that is. All right, hang on a second. Sorry. Trying to get my keyboard out and it's trapped. I might have to get up. All right, hang on one second. Oh, everything is all plugged together here, right? So the camera is on this thing, and we need to tighten all these down. Look at all these little arms sticking up here. Someday I'll should show you guys this mess that I got here. But then I've got this light stand, and then the cord for the keyboard was wrapped around the leg of the light stand, which also has the camera arms on it. So yeah, like I said, I don't normally use this for streaming this stuff. That's why I took my other computer into the Rethink Home Studios, but now because of circumstances, I've had to use this setup. So it is what it is. Going to make do. So, all right. So we're gonna start off. Basically, what I think the premise of my skit is, it's kind of like you guys remember that show about the 70s? Was a show about the 70s. That's what I'm going to say. When they used to sit around the table and talk about things in a altered state of mind. It's kind of my thought. Something similar to that to start off with. So we're just going to start off with, that's the premise. I'll fill the other folks in when we go to shoot it. We're not probably sitting around the table. We'll probably be sitting in chairs. I'll probably film this as this person here, that person. We'll kind of film it. Each person kind of do their own thing, and we'll film it and then go. And it should be funny. I hope it's funny. But we're going to film each person's dialogue separately, and then I'll splice them together, because that's the magic of video, is you don't necessarily have to all do it at once. When it comes out, it should look like everybody's talking at once and everybody's doing the things at once. But if you do it right, that all comes out in editing, which, yeah. All right. So we got me, and we got Jody, and we got Michael. So I kind of got to figure this out. I've got some of the dialogue, like I said, that's been going through my brain, but I don't have all of it yet. Let's just get started writing. So we're going to start out. All right. How do we start this? Let's see. We're going to be like, so got to get in the right stoner kind of voice too. And we'll work through that on Wednesday when we shoot it, but it should start out like, hey, man, I'll probably be doing the majority of this. So RG, hey, I got, we should mention something like, okay, so I'm writing a script for a skit, and I'll go back over it. So one of the things that pops up on my Reddit searches occasionally is Airbnb stuff. So like, Airbnb hosts, and then I think I'm in another Reddit thing that's about Airbnb. Oh, maybe not. Maybe it's just Airbnb hosts, but everybody's always worried about their ratings and can they get a bad review, and this person, and so I kind of imagined like what it was like, because Airbnb was thought up in San Francisco, so I kind of envision couple of stoners sitting around going, I got a great idea for a company. We're going to make a hotel company. And be like, okay, you're going to buy like buildings and stuff. No, we're going to use like a bed and breakfast kind of company. Oh, okay. So you're going to like houses and stuff. Well, yeah, but we're going to use like other people's houses. Like, what do you mean? Yeah, we'll rent out other people's houses to other people, and then they'll pay us money to rent out their houses. Something like that. So that's my premise. This was a stoner's dream. Airbnb was a stoner's dream. And so the Proctor one or which one? Okay, now I gotta go look. Okay, let's see. I think it was. Airbnb had to be a stoner's idea, because who else would think of let's use other people's house and they'll pay us to rent it out. Ooh. Oh, breaking. I just spoke to Karen Reed's defense attorney, Alan Jackson, who provided this statement about Trooper Michael Proctor. Oh, this will be good. Regarding Trooper Michael Proctor being relieved of duty, conduct has consequences. DA Morrissey backed this misogynist, corrupt cop, and 2 hours after he announced he will pursue a second trial against an innocent woman, Karen Reed, the Massachusetts State Police announced that Michael Proctor, the lead investigator for the Commonwealth, has been relieved of duty because of serious misconduct that emerged in testimony at the trial. We look forward to another opportunity to reveal the truth about this unjust provocation. Good luck. Oh, okay, hang on. Oh my gosh. Oh yeah. Oh no, that was horrible. Yeah, I know. Oh yeah. Somebody actually went to his parents' house and left a turtle hanging on their, right outside their door. That was disgusting. Those people that is disgusting. We're dealing with, like I said earlier, we're dealing with people that's brains just don't function correctly. They just don't function right. So yeah, no, I did see that one, and oh my god. Oh man, it's the brain rot, the brain worm, something. I don't see how you can get in it, and I don't know nobody knows what the split was in the jury room. I don't know if we will know. It depends on, somebody should come out eventually, I would think, and spill it, but we don't know exactly what the split was. But they made it sound like it was possibly multiple jurors, but that could be 10-2. There is no way it was 10 guilty and 2 not guilty. There is absolutely no way. If it was 10 guilty and 2 not guilty, then the problem in Massachusetts is even worse than I just said it was earlier, right? Like, there would need to be wholesale tests of the entire state, the water supply, the food supply, the chemicals, whatever. Something is going on there. If it was 10 guilty, 2 not guilty, I'm sorry. They were watching a different trial. But yeah, it was I can't believe that. The other thing, and the other reason why I wanted to just do something else tonight, which we're going to get to. I'm going to do this because I got to write the script, because I want to shoot it on Wednesday, so we got it ready for Friday. Is it's not over. The case is not over. This trial, this whole experience is not over, and everybody that's now come together, and like I was saying earlier too, is this trial has brought together people that are not mean, it's not on the same idea. I mean, there's people of different ideologies, people along different ideological lines, political lines that have come together on this and realized that this woman is getting screwed. The state, the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, is doing the screwing, and you got to take a stand, right? And hopefully, this place is not the no. You're fine. You're fine. You're good. You're fine. I don't mind talking about it, but oh man, it's just I can't believe it's not over with yet. I can't believe that it's not over. That we didn't get, and that's part of the process, right? Is getting closure and getting finality on things, and we haven't gotten finality on this yet. So we don't know what the next step is. All right, now I'm out of water, so I got to go get a water. I'll be right back, and then we're going to write the script. Yes. Airbnb script. Oh, we've got. Oh, that was good. Bleh. Pop my cup on my keyboard. So, but I have my Kirkland signature water. Yeah, no, we're waiting for one of the jurors will come out, especially one of the ones that were not guilty. I'm pretty sure they'll be out pretty soon. But yeah, Kirkland signature. I think between Kirkland signature and Amazon, we're not going to have many choices here soon. That's going to be it. Can you imagine if Kirkland or Costco bought Amazon, or if Amazon bought Costco? Oh my God. We would be. That would be crazy. Okay, so Airbnb. So the folks of Airbnb have sat down. They've just smoked a hello. No. Okay. They have just smoked the joint of all joints. And the originator of the idea for Airbnb has come up with the greatest idea in history. Which, I mean, it is brilliant. It is brilliant. And as we dig into this script, you'll see why it's brilliant. Okay, so hey, that was some good stuff. Yeah. And then Jay. Yeah, it was. So this is just banter back and forth. Michael. So I figure the three of us, me and Michael and Jody, are going to do this, and you can look at our live streams and see who those other two folks are. Or you can wait till Friday and see it, or Saturday whenever I get this video put out. I think it's Colombian. I'm just coming up with something, or maybe. Let's make it Alaskan. I think it's Alaskan, even though they're in. That stuff is potent. All right, so we'll get some of the background out. Just say all right. All right, so RG. Whoa. I just came up with a great idea for a company. Jody. Oh, yeah? Let's hear it. Okay. I want to start like a hotel company. Michael, so you want to buy a bunch of buildings or hotels. Me, no. Or like a bed and breakfast type hotel company. Ah, so you'd buy like houses and stuff and turn them into B&Bs? Question mark. No. We use other people's houses and turn them into B&Bs. And they pay us to rent out their house. Michael. And my keyboard died. Why are you not where? Oh no. Did I hit? Editing. There we go. All right, now we're back. All right. And they pay us to rent out their house. No, we use other people's houses, turn them into B&Bs, and they pay us to rent out their house. Why would someone pay us to rent out their house? Oh, I see. We're not actually renting anything. We just make the connection. Right. See, we make a website and let people list their houses on it. They pay us for the privilege of, I didn't spell that right, out their house. Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, it's just the whole concept. So people would like, we're going to use other people's houses. Wait, so they would, how's that going to work? How are they going to pay us to rent out their house? Because we make the connection, man. I got to put some more mans in there too. Well, see, we're not actually renting anything. We just make the connection, man. There we go. Right. See, we make a website. We let people list their house on it, and they pay us for the privilege of renting out their house. Michael will come back and say, so you mean in, and I'm targeting this like 3, 4, 5 minutes, something like that. No longer than 5 minutes. 5 minutes is going to be the longest this will go. I'm more shooting in the like 3.5, 4 minute range. So you mean in like touristy areas, resort type areas? Me. Well, to start out with, yes, but this should catch on for everywhere. We start in places like LA or Miami, but it should spread even places Like New Boston, Ohio. Look up New Boston, Ohio. I don't know. Is there any? I use New Boston because it's next to where I grew up. It's a crappy little place in Southern Ohio. And now I got to see, is there any B&Bs in New Boston, Ohio? Now I'm curious. All right. Airbnb. I've never actually stayed at Airbnb. I've started to stay at an Airbnb. I was taking my mom and my sister to a NASCAR race, and we'd originally rented an Airbnb. And see, let's start July 9th. Let's go to July 13th. And there's 2 people. And let's see. Yeah, see, Southern Ohio. So Portsmouth, South Shore, Portsmouth. Yeah, I guess there's nothing. Oh, there's one in Minford. All right, we'll change it to Minford. Oh, even places like Minford, Ohio. All right. Minford's even worse. Minford's even worse than New Boston. All right. So we got that off. All right. Jody. But why would people want to rent out houses other people? Capitalism, man. Everybody to make an extra buck. And if they can rent out the room they aren't using, they can do that through us. Okay. Now we get into the back and forth of the questioning of how stuff's going to work. This is kind of where my other, this is where the other part of this skit kind of goes. So, all right. So Michael, see, look at that. New Boston. Nothing. There's one there. There's one there. There's one there. There. Nothing there. But what about local and state governments? Won't they have something to say if a bunch of rooms for rent start going up? And response. You know how governments work slowly. By the time they figure out what we have going on, we will be able to afford lobbyists. And you know, government officials can't say no to a lobbyist. Because they can't. JC, Jody. What happens? Someone rents someone's house, throws a huge party, and makes a big mess with a bunch of damage. Are we going to be responsible for that? We can just say, sorry, that was a private transaction between two individuals, and we aren't responsible. I mean, they make a major hit, we might have to give a refund or two. But we'll make that process so cumbersome, no one will know how to do that. All right, so I want to start like a hotel company. I'm just reading through what I got here. Gonna take this and then we'll turn it around. No, we use other people's houses, turn them into B&Bs, and they pay us to rent out their house. More rooms in there. Put that in there. See, we make a website, we let people list their house on it, and they pay us for pillage renting out their house. You mean in tourist areas like resort types? Well, let's start with, I think it means places like Memphis, Ohio. Why would people want to rent their house out? Capitalism, man. Everybody wants to make an extra buck. Not that I think everybody should make as much money as they possibly can. Understand that you are the only one looking out for you. So help yourself. In order to help other people, you have to be able to help yourself first. So always put yourself first. I mean, that's just, I mean, we don't have to run from saber-toothed tigers anymore, but there are still dangers out there. So always try and look out for yourself. And then look out for others. All right. What happens if someone rents a house, throw a huge party, makes a big mess with a bunch of damage? Because, I mean, that's been a thing. And I guess they've tried to curtail that. I know Airbnb's tried to curtail that. But, I mean, when it happens, it seems like it's a big pain in the butt. And I don't know that people actually get fully compensated for when their house gets destroyed. When, somebody rents out a Airbnb and throws a party for 150 people. Do you ever get fully compensated for that? Probably not. And I would say that most Airbnb transactions probably go off smoothly, but man, some of the stories you read on, especially on Reddit, are like, oh my goodness. I don't. Nah, it's not for me. Maybe it's my Gen X-iness, but I'll just stay in hotels. I mean, like I said, we tried to rent a house when we went to that NASCAR race, and I don't even remember what happened, but I paid for it. Everything was good to go, and then it fell apart. And it's just like, all right, fine, I'll find a hotel, and then end up finding a hotel. It was like 45 minutes away from the track. And so, but that was fine. Made it work. It was good driving back and forth, talking to my sister. Rest in peace, Lisa. Anyway, all right. So, I wanted to get the part in about the party. And then what else was I thinking? The one of the things that stands out when you kind of read Reddit too is like the review process. Like, people are really worried about getting one bad review. Like, you could have 150 4-star reviews or 5-star reviews. You'd be like one of the highest. Yeah, thank you. You don't get fully compensated. Nobody's going to get fully compensated when their house gets blown up. But the train went off the tracks. Oh, I just heard a train go by. But yeah, what was I saying? Oh, I read your comment and I just totally threw my. Okay, so let me go back. So we got the party. Oh, the review process. Yes, the review process. People are so freaked out about the review process. So, all right, I got to work that in. So that's my next thing to work into the script is the cumbersome review process. All right, so all right, so this will only be successful if we have returning hosts and guests. How do we keep people coming back? How do we retain folks? We keep I'll keep people coming back with that for now. Reviews will make everything contingent on positive reviews. For both hosts and for visitors. Oh, and then these these stupid fees, like in the stupid rules, like, and I'm gonna work that in too. But I mean, you've got these rules like, okay, so you make sure you got to wash the bedding and you got to wash the windows and make sure you wash all of the dishes and make sure that you know, scrub the floor, and we will leave a vacuum cleaner and a steam cleaner for the carpets, and make sure that you wax the wood floors with Murphy's oil soap, and you must pay us $285 cleaning fee. What? Oh my God. We'll make it so even if you have 1,000 5-star reviews, one star review could sink your rating. Yes. Yeah. I'm gonna revise this. I'm getting ideas put down first. I want to make sure I get all of the bases covered. Probably at a minute and a half right now. I'm probably putting some fluff too, but I think we're there. Yep, pet friendly hotels. Blow this up a little bit so people can see it. Yeah, I mean, and I don't travel a ton, and I'll look for deals. I think I got a Hilton Honors thing, so I'll look for Hiltons just to get points on that. But yeah, I don't know. I don't. If I'm in, a hotel that's made for staying. But Airbnbs are just. You're in somebody's house, and when you're in somebody else's house, and even if it's, I know people now have properties just for Airbnbs, right? But still, it feels weird. I don't know. It's just me. Like I said, I'm Gen X. Maybe that's a Gen X thing. But talking to my friend who runs a bed and breakfast, and like I said earlier, that they used to be a true bed and breakfast where they had communal breakfasts with people, and people would come sit around the table and meet each other. And now, the Airbnb traveler is a different kind of traveler. They're a different beast. They're a different type of person. They're not looking so much for that, because the original bed and breakfast traveler was yeah, no, exactly. I like my house too much. It's expensive to travel from Alaska too. Let me tell you that. You go when you need to, because anywhere you go, it's expensive. It takes forever to get there. So just make people come and visit you. But the original B&B folks really enjoyed that camaraderie, the getting to know the people whose house you were staying at. The breakfast part of it was a big part of it. My friends had his wife is not from the US, and she was an incredible cook, and so she would come up during the summers and bring the whole family, and they'd have like her breakfasts were just to die for. They were so good. And and it was a big part of it. And then 2020 happened, and like you said, the B&B traveler is just a different kind of traveler. They're not so much looking for that. Their convenience is one of the things. They're looking for convenience. A lot of them are just, it's a room, but it's also weird because you get these things now where it's like with the fees and everything. So, all right. So, oh, you know what? Okay. So I want to add more to this government part too. I just realized. So, but what about local and state governments? Won't they have something to say if a bunch of rooms for rent start showing up? You know how government works slowly. By the time they figure out what we have going on, we'll be able to afford lobbyists. And you government officials can't say no to a lobbyist. We will just talk them into taxing the rooms. Another thing government folks love: new tax opportunities. See, like I said, this was the perfect stoners thing. He's got all the answers. Just, yeah, by the time, and that's what happened. It's like Airbnb showed up, people got on it, people started renting their rooms out, people started renting their houses out. And then governments, it took them a while to come around. It took them a while to say, hey, what's going on here? Oh my gosh. And of course, hotels, they have lobbyists too. My neighbor's coming back up the hill, waiting for the dogs to bark at them. Okay. But it took governments a while to figure out what the whole being Airbnb thing was. And by the time they figured it out, Airbnb could afford lobbyists. They could afford to go out there and work with these governments and some of them tried to get aggressive, right? And a lot of that got shut down. I think there was wasn't it Seattle or it was somewhere. Seattle attempt to rein in Airbnb. I think it was Seattle. Yeah, well, it looks like Seattle has got. Let's see. Want to turn your Seattle area home into Airbnb? This is for 2023. Read this first. Oh no. Why did my headphones just give me a warning? They're not dead yet, are they? I might have to plug them in. Inactive? Why are you inactive? What is going on? Oh, you know why? Because I haven't done anything. Huh. That's why. Okay, no, 79%. I just haven't done anything that's needed sound for a while. All right. So it looks like you can only rent two. It basically was saying is you can only rent 2 rooms. Usually homeowner has been host of short-term rentals using Airbnb, other long platforms. You got Verbo too. Yeah, $90 billion. Valued at $90 billion in July of 2023. So you tell me that was lucrative or not. It was. But yeah. So where's the rules here? All right. Yeah. Anyway, Seattle sucks. Sorry. I used to love Seattle. I'm being from Alaska. You go to Seattle a lot. Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, that's. Yeah. No, because now you have corporations getting in on this, buying up. So you got them buying up properties so they can either turn them into Airbnbs or 2, turn them into rental properties. So that's a whole nother damn thing. All right. That's another thing government folks love: new tax opportunities. All right. What happens if someone rents out a house, throws a used party, makes a big mess with a bunch of damage? Are we going to be responsible for that? We can just say, sorry, that was a private transaction between two individuals, and we aren't responsible. I mean, if they make a major fit, we might give a refund or two, but we'll make that process so cumbersome, no one will know how to do that. To only be successful by returning those guests. How to keep people coming back? Money will be good, and we'll make everything dependent on reviews. Make everything dependent on positive reviews. I like that better, I think. Positive reviews. Get rid of this. Make it so if you have 1,000 5-star reviews, one star review could sink your rating. Which is, I mean, that's what it seems like anyway. Yeah, no, I hear you. We're working our way there. We got a few more years, but it's closer than it's not. And we'll have this place paid off too. It'll be nice. So everyone will be bending over backwards to try and keep each other happy. Yeah, that's one of the things I keep coming back to when you look at the Reddit posts and stuff for Airbnb and Airbnb hosts and stuff. They're so worried that one of these people are going to give them a bad review. Like, oh, I'm so worried. And I had, one yesterday was, oh my gosh, I should see if I could find that. I mean, it was ridiculous. All right, I got to see if I can find it here. All right, Airbnb hosts. And yeah, it was something like they rented it for a long-term rental, and the person basically showed up and then started complaining about everything and wanted like all these discounts, and then they kept, they trashed. Oh, this was one. Okay, this was, I think this was, we are first-time hosts and launched our Airbnb at the beginning of the month. Our second guest had numerous 5-star reviews, so we felt confident allowing the book to be nice, accommodating hosts. We even asked the guests what they would need to help accommodate their infant and ended up purchasing a few items for them. After their stay, our cleaning reached out to us to say, make sure the guests had left the house in such terrible condition. The dishes still in the sink, soda exploded in the fridge, cooler leaking down the sides of the washer, trash all over the floor. One of the toilets was clogged, and there was toilet paper strung from one end of the house to the other. Our cleaner said it was the messiest she'd ever seen out of all the Airbnb she's cleaned over the year. We worked with the guest afterwards to get them items left behind mailed to their home. However, I have not yet mentioned to them how disrespected our property and failed to follow checkout instructions and left a huge mess. So people are scared to, somebody comes in, they rent your house, they trash it, there's extra charges, and then they're worried about, confronting them about it. I keep going back and forth about if we should write a bad review for the guests or just skip it. I don't want anything to come back and hurt our business since we are brand new. I mean, yeah. I mean, just, and it, a lot of people are like, look, just don't do anything. Don't confront them. Do everything through the B&B app or Airbnb app. Yeah, right. I know. Why? And that's the other thing that it seems that Airbnb has devolved into is, the people that own the place trying to squeeze more and more money out of the people that are staying there, and then the people that are staying there trying to pay less and less and do weird things. Like there was another one where people had you know, um, oh yeah, this one's crazy. This is what I talk about with the longtime guest. Guest is trying to scam and is being verbally abusive. Can he be kicked out? This is why I will never get into Airbnb, because I would not deal with this very well at all. So I have a guest who wanted an initial discount for a long-term stay, which I obliged. No initial problems, but this was particular about pots and pans. So we got to do a set of pots and pans for the apartment. Then he starts complaining about more things like a highway noise, which, nothing they can do about highway noise. Which no one has ever complained about. It's demanding more and more discounts, which, there it is, trying to get more and more discounts, which I told him was maxed out. He said he was bit by a random dog in the neighborhood while walking down the street, and he wants more discounts. And we said no. And then he's going to leave that in the review. Like, there you go. Teasing people that you're going to give them a bad review, which would sink their place. Since he's staying another month and a half, I told him we need to come to agreement, no more complaining, and it'd be better for him to find a more suitable arrangement. He doesn't want to leave. He got verbally abusive over text and said if I don't give him more discounts, he's going to make things from the place or not to F with him since he's a law student. Oh, my good grief. Exactly. Why would anybody want to deal with this? For the money. That's what it is. It's for the money. And stuff stinks right now, and every dollar you can get, but man, this is too much stress for that though. You gotta, yeah, too much stress. So yeah, there's been some fun ones that I've seen. And like one where somebody was renting, I think that might have been the car one, and then Airbnb's led to this Toro thing, right? So now you can not only rent your house out, you can rent your car out. And so people will come and pay you to take your car and go places. And it's just crazy. It's just, the world's gone crazy. Everybody trying to make a buck, which, I got nothing against it. I completely understand about it. But it's just not for me. I'm trying to make a buck on, content creation. So I get it, right? We all do things that to get ahead. But man, I don't know, renting out my house or renting rooms out my house and having to deal with people. Oh my gosh. All right. So what else do I want to get in here? All right. So, all right. Michael's going to say, so how do we make money, and how do folks, how do we split money between us and the people renting out their houses? Question mark. G. Will charge a percentage of the basic room rate that they charge, but we won't charge anything from the different fees. And we'll let the hosts charge whatever fees they want. Whatever fees they can come up with. Does your house want to charge a cleaning fee? Go for it. A towel fee sounds perfectly legit. Legit. How do you spell legit? There we go. Legit. Sounds perfectly legit. Heck, if your place is next to a monkey sanctuary, charge them a monkey fee. More fees, the better. That'd be funny. Have a monkey fee. All right, fees, reviews. There's some other things I wanted to work in here. What else is there? Oh, I just went brain dead. Oh, what else was there? Monkey fee. I like the monkey fee. I just thought that up. I mean, there should be more monkey fees out there. There should just be more monkeys. There was one other thing I was thinking of just a minute ago. We got the fees. We got the reviews. I'm going to expand on the review part. What else was I thinking? I can't think of it now. Darn it. It'll come to me. Where are we at? Probably a couple minutes. Got the government part in there about lobbyists and taxing them. Yeah, I'm going to have to expand on some of these. Make it a little better. Oh, there was something else I was thinking of. Sure. Oh. Okay. I have to save this. Going to have to save this. I'm going to have to save this and think of something else here. All right, so let's go to go in. Skits and Airbnb. And A, B, and B, rough draft. Yeah, for some, ooh. Goofy on my headset there. All right, I'll think of it in a little bit. Yeah, I just went totally dead. totally brain dead there, which is, it happens. I'm not going to say it hasn't happened to me before, because it has. All right, let's see what else is going on. Okay, we're going to leave that right there. I will come back to it later. I got to think what I was thinking of. Writing like that is just, you can't force it. You can't rush it. If, you come up to a point where things just stop, you just got to put it away, push it aside for a little bit, and then it will come back to you. And then, the next time you go look at your script, stuff will pop out. I wanted to just, I wanted to get the rough basis down for the skit. Basically, that the concept of Airbnb, of where you're going to pay a company to rent out your house. They're going to take as little responsibility as they possibly can, right? They're going to charge the people that are renting out the place in some kind of insurance thing. They're going to charge the hosts, some kind of insurance thing. So they're going to be an insurance company. They're going to be the company that connects the people, but they're going to say it's a private transaction between private individuals. So that, they're going to try and limit their liability as much as they can. I mean, it's the same with you've got house sharing, you've got the ride sharing, Lyft and Uber. Those started out with a great idea, but man, there's just weirdness going on all of those different things. And now you've got the DoorDash stuff, and I mean, it's just the whole gig economy. And then you've got states trying to crack down on it, and you got I understand I understand looking out for workers and trying to make sure that people aren't getting exploited, but there's, I don't know, it's just weird. We're in such a weird spot now with corporations having outsized control over everything, and then being able to pay lobbyists to, where some companies, some governments, they say the right thing, but then they don't do anything. Or like California, they go too far. And then, the people that want to, because it's one of the draws of being part of the gig economy, is having that autonomy, having that freedom to say, I don't want to work today. I only want to work this many hours. I only want, I want to work when I want to work, and I want to stay home when I don't want to work. And, being an Uber driver or a DoorDash driver or any of those things gives you that autonomy. But, having a balance between being able to make sure that these companies aren't exploiting people and, completely controlling them and driving them out of business with, with fees that they can't sustain. I mean, we need serious people working on these issues. And unfortunately, we don't have that right now. We have a bunch of people just being weirdos. But anyway, it's not like I could fix it. There's not one person that can come and fix all this stuff. There's not. We keep holding out hope. We're in an election year, and we've got all the news cycle out now about what's actually going on, and we realize that who's actually in charge. Who is actually in charge right now? We don't know. We haven't elected them. The people freaking out about the the rulings that have come down over the last few days, which, granted, they do kind of throw things into a, a questionable state. The Chevron deference ruling is a big one. I mean, that is a major switch in precedent. And I understand people say, well, you've just blown up 40 years of precedent, but if it was bad law to begin with, then the precedent doesn't really mean anything. And just deferring to government agencies to decide what laws mean, if there's ambiguity, then the lawmakers should be the ones that are deciding it, not unelected bureaucrats. Yes, they should have some say in it, and they should be able to a degree, but the nobody wants to look at the case that actually Chevron was about. And, that was the fisheries just being able to come up with a fee that they charge someone $700 a day for the government to monitor them. Like, we're just going to make this up. This law says that we got to do this. So, but the lawmakers aren't funding this law that they've put into to place. So we as this agency are just going to decide that you have to pay for this law that this lawmakers have created. And that's too far. That's a bridge too far. And so once you get into that territory, now you've gone past what the original deference was. And now you've moved on to a lot bigger responsibility, I guess. A lot, you've taken more power now as a government agency than you were initially given. And that's, now you're creating monetary policy of charging a fee to a company that is nowhere in any kind of statute whatsoever. You've just decided that since the lawmakers aren't going to pay for it, then you have to as a business person. And that's just a bridge too far. So I understand why. And then so the government agency has overstepped their bounds, and they've done it in a lot of other cases. And so now the Supreme Court has reined that back in. But of course, other people look at that, and now there's a major freak out. And like it goes back to Lolly. All right, let's bring this back around to Lolly. I hit him the 4 times. Right? So he immediately comes out and exaggerates, right? And so that's what people are trying to do to freak out about this Chevron deference thing, is they're freaking out, and now they're bringing up things that are just completely nonsensical. Well, just wait till you have fiberglass in all your food. Nobody's going to have fiberglass in their food. Anyway, I think there is a role for government agencies to play in protecting us, be it the SEC, the FCC, all of these agencies. They do have a role to play. They have an important role that they should be playing, but they should be listening to us. They should, it should be for the people, by the people, which is what it's supposed to be. And right now it's for the corporations, by the corporations, and whoever is paying the lobbyists the most. I mean, that's what we're at. That's where we are at right now. And the media is owned by the same companies that are doing this thing. They're all working together. The people, and let's go ahead and bring it back around again to the Karen Reed case. A lot of these folks that you see that are on the Karen Reed is guilty side, their livelihood is dedicated by being able to have access to the state, to the prosecutors, to the FBI people, or to whoever it is. Their livelihood is predicated on that access. And so if they're going to come out and say things against the state, they're going to lose that access. Like court TV. Court TV is invited into these courtrooms by the government, right? It's the government that controls the access to court TV, to Law and Crime Network. Without that government access, they don't exist. Without the access to these trials, without the access to these streams, and you saw what happened when they kicked out the one morning where they had the issue with the juror, and the juror got caught on camera. I mean, they didn't tell the cameraman that the juror was coming in the room, right? He got surprised, and he should have been focused on the fan, but he wasn't. He was focused on the gallery, right? So the juror comes in from a door that they don't normally come in, gets taken by surprise. The juror get caught on camera, so they say no more cameras for the rest of whatever, for the rest of the morning, or I think she thought about like kicking him out. And you saw the mess that we had. As soon as they kicked her out, as soon as they turned the cameras off and kicked him out, you saw the mess that we came back with, the Zoom mess that the expert testified for the state about the cell phone. And that was a mess. I mean, but so court TV and Law and Crime and the channels, the entities that bring us this, they rely on their access to the state, and so they're limited in their ability to criticize the state. And some of the folks on there have, right, we've seen mild criticism, but a lot of them are just they won't be critical at all. Everything that the state does, everything that the state brings up is some kind of win for the state. Every bit of testimony that's given to by a state witness is just the best testimony. And it's disheartening to see, but that's where we're at. And so that's why I say started off with this today is with the stuff that the 10 guilty to 2 not guilty that got spread around on X, started by that Grant weirdo, and just picked up, like, people just completely picked that up and threw it out there like it was that was the gospel. And it was not even the case. We don't know what the vote was. We don't know what the vote total was, but I would bet you it's not 10 guilty to 2 not guilty. Sorry, it's just not the case. But that gets thrown out there. So we're in this weird place where we know we can't trust the mainstream media, right? We know that they're completely bought and paid for. All of their jobs, the mainstream media folks, whether it's CNN, whether it's MSNBC, whether it's Fox News, they all have masters that they are serving. They know that. They know what they have to say on the air in order to keep their jobs. There is no doubt that they know where their bread is buttered. Then we have this entire new media, this new entities that are popping up, which still seem to, I'm just, like I said, I've been disappointed over the last couple of years on a bunch of them where you think that they're telling the truth, and then they show what they're really about, and a lot of them are really just about themselves, right? So you really have to take everything you hear with a grain of salt. I know that's what I do, And I try, like I said, we're been doing this for a little bit. We're trying to be entertaining. We're trying to do some entertaining things. We got yeah, you would think so, but they can't. I mean, they have a they have to balance that between their access, because if they lose their access, then they cease to function, and they know that. And so it's really hard. So I mean, the best thing they can do is to let other folks have access to their access, which they do. I mean, everybody is all of the other streamers that are putting his case out there are do a really good job of calling out that corruption. And you would hope eventually that if it got too bad, they would call it out. But you can't really trust them. You just have to verify everything. You have to really just take everything with a grain of salt. I mean, and I mean, I used to be, I mean, I was right along with them. I used to watch the news. I used to be a complete news junkie. And I would watch NBC and CNN, and I don't think they've always been this bad. And they were trustworthy back in a time, but things have just gotten out of hand, and we've come to a place now where they're just not. They're controlled media. They're controlled by different places, and everybody knows their place right now. And so we have great tools like X with Elon buying that was, I mean, if he hadn't have bought X, if we didn't have X, then we would really be fighting because who goes, I mean, what news do you get on Facebook anymore? You don't. Facebook is about, it's boomer land, basically. I go to Facebook to keep up with friends or see what picnics coming up or anything. I try to put content out on I try and put content out on Facebook, and it just never goes anywhere. They really tamp that stuff down. They only want confirmed sources, especially. And so the legacy media places are really fighting to keep hold of as much as they can. And they're getting to the point where they where they're losing, they know they're losing viewerships, they know they're losing money, they're losing ad money, then nobody is tuning to them. And then they're not, a lot of the monetization now on these social media places are well, thank you very much, Margaret. Welcome. We're growing slowly, but we're growing, and we're having fun doing it, and we got some fun things coming up. And yeah, check out, and I would just say I'm going to take off here now. It's going to go let the dogs out. Better not say that too loud or they'll freak out. But yeah, we got some fun things planned. And so if you kind of look, we I started this whole thing. I came up with an idea for a show, a web series, last year and a half ago, and we've been shooting it in pieces. It's we're doing it just as low budget as we can. It's basically me and a couple friends and some good friends that are acting in it. And so we've got some little stuff up there on our channel, so check that out. And we're gonna do more fun things like that. I'm tried to write a script here tonight that I'm gonna do some refining before Monday or before Wednesday. We're gonna shoot that on Wednesday, and hope we'll have it out. We'll have it out this weekend for sure. I'm hoping I have a rough cut at least for the show on Friday. But yeah, no, we really appreciate, and then in this trial, I it's been kind of, it's the that get off my property. Oh my gosh. The lady was walking across the street. Get off my lawn. What are you talking about? She wasn't even on the lawn. She was in the street. Oh my goodness. And then he just storms off into the house. Man, these people are nuts. But yeah, this trial has been neat. The videos that we've been putting out have been fun to make, and they've been fun to, because I've watched, over the last few years, I've caught on to some of the legal streamers and stuff, and we're kind of, I started out watching the Rittenhouse trial with Ricada, and that whole situation. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to get into it. That's their business. It's sad. It's just kind of sad because the guy had the world by the string, and he's kind of thrown a lot of it away, which is just sad to see. And so, a lot of the just getting up and actually doing this was from watching, his stuff. And so kind of stinks where it's gone, but that's, that's life. And so, like I said, I've seen a lot of good content, and I've seen a lot of disappointment over the last couple years, and hopefully it's just, yeah, no, I mean, yeah, me too. That I mean, just not even going to be yeah, just the whole attitude is just, it's amazing. But I mean, success changes people, and the more success you get, you've got to rein yourself in. You always got to stay humble, and you're not going to always have the answers. Sorry, I keep fiddling. So anyway, all right. So I got a good start. On my script. There's something else I'm missing. Still hasn't come to me, so I'm going to go think about it. And then I think we'll see tomorrow night. What is tomorrow? Tuesday? We'll probably stream a bit tomorrow night. Why not? My wife's coming home late tomorrow night, so I got to go to the airport and pick her up. And actually, she's texting me right now. I'm going to text her back right here. So yeah, so maybe we'll finish the script up tomorrow night. There'll be nothing on Wednesday because I'm going to be shooting on Wednesday. And then Thursday is 4th of July, which means I'll probably be editing, and then we'll have our Friday night show. So all kinds of stuff going on this week. So, and yeah, this trial's been funny for us because yes, absolutely. But yeah, no, this trial has been it's been interesting for us because it's brought in some really good viewers, and we've gotten a really good bump on our channel, and so we really appreciate all of that. Oh, nice. Yay. I know. It's funny because our fireworks in Alaska are not the greatest because it's light out, and you have to wait until at least midnight, and it's still light out. So it doesn't really light anything up. You just kind of, you catch them a little bit because it's starting to get dark by about midnight, but it's still light. I mean, there's no two ways about it. So our bigger fireworks displays are on New Year's because it's really dark on New Year's here. But our 4th of July fireworks just aren't the best, considering it's daylight and we have our fireworks. So yeah. So anyway, thank you for hanging out. I will be back tomorrow night. We're gonna finish up our script tomorrow night. We're gonna see what other craziness happens tomorrow. I'm sure that maybe, well, I'm sure, I'm not sure of anything. Maybe we will get some more insight on the jury room. That would be interesting. Oh, cool. Yeah, no, we do. There's New Year's Eve fireworks are the big fireworks show here. And we have the coolest fireworks display I ever saw was out at the Willow Winter Carnival. If you look up Willow, Alaska, and they set the fireworks off, like we were like 100 feet from where they were launching them. And that was way close. And it's like you're just watching them go up. And I mean, that was incredible. But anyway, yep. I'll be back tomorrow night. We'll finish up our script, and then I'll get that kicked off to my partners so they can watch it. Thank goodness I have invested in a teleprompter so I can actually roll a script and we can kind of read it as we're acting. So that usually helps. But anyway, okay. All right. Gonna cut out of here. But thank you, everybody. Thanks for all the views. And if you're watching this later, I appreciate it. And we'll catch you next time. All right. Good.